Welcome back to Eternal Sonata. So, as Beat said, it's about to start, but what? Basically, Chopin has decided to use his skill to his advantage, and right now, the segment of his chapter is played in, it's basically treated also in-game. The Grand Valse Brillante is what Chopin is currently playing in-game, and while we're getting this narration.
That's nice.
This is another major composition of Chopin that's more memorable. This is a work composed in 1831 when Chopin was 21 years old. What am I doing with my life?
Playing the piano.
In Chopin's homeland of Poland, the insurrection that had started in Warsaw in 1830 had ended in defeat. I remember a Tom and Jerry episode where this was played in a contest with the piano.
Yep.
At this time, Chopin was in Paris and a strong supporter of Poland.
Well, of course.
That's just a sad part too. A lot of classical music became part of pop culture mostly because of cartoons using it.
Makes sense also, the royalty-free. In the commentary of the Revolutionary Etude, it was explained that Chopin received the news of the fall of Warsaw while en route to Vienna, in Stuttgart, Germany.
Thank God he wasn't around.
For those who don't know, Vienna is the capital of Austria.
Boy, if he hated to see Poland's case in that way, he'd have hated to have seen what Poland were up to in World War II.
Yeah.
Or rather, whoever's taking a slice of them.
This song was composed after Chopin has left Vienna to live in Paris. Like I mentioned, Jova, Poland has a very troubled history of being conquered left and right through all the ages. Sadly.
I mean, but Tio, surely if we let Germany just have Poland, they will quiet down for sure.
Sure.
God. World War II may not have had as many stupid people, but pure God, the measures taken to prevent it were, weak.
Yeah, and it paid off in that way. At the time, Austria was opposed to Polish independence, because why not?
Oh, Austria, you hypocrites.
Not only that, this was almost before the start of World War I, and yeah. It was partly because Austria was one of the nations that had divided up Poland, but also because they feared the uprising would spread to Austria. Basically, they did not want it to get in conflict with Russia, which was a big, powerful nation at the time. Basically, political intrigues. Same reason why North Korea could have not been conquered for all this time. Because of this, living in Vienna had been difficult for the Polish Chopin. Obviously, was looked upon because of his nationality.
Yeah.
In Vienna, waltzes designed for dancing were in fashion. This piece, while unquestionably a masterpiece... Also, don't worry, Shiro, your eyes are not deceiving you. This photo is blurry on purpose.
No, I know.
Anyone here ever been to Vienna?
I wish, but I sadly couldn't. It's something of a contrast to Chopin's other works. It seems to reflect the atmosphere in Vienna at the time. Basically, this is the closest thing to what is today's commercial music. Chopin did this just for the mere entertainment of others, as the narration is about to say.
Before the movie theater,
Though it was probably not meant to be danced to.
Screw you, I'm gonna dance to it on my MP3 player.
oh, if people can dance to it, they'll dance to it.
Well, truly, back then that was not proper.
In order for the Polish Chopin to live in the adverse winds of that time, he might have made an effort to be popular.
Well, hey...
Basically sacrificing, basically reaching a compromise on his own, sacrificing his own dignity for it.
Oh, so he whored himself out.
Kinda. Not that he was happy about it. Chopin appeared at salons and dinner parties performing music for small
All musicians go through that eventually.
Sadly, yes.
It does make me question whether or not I actually do want to pursue a career. I mean, I'm a good saxophone player.
It's up to you, Jova.
You could be a YouTube musician.
Maybe.
Go to X Factor.
Oh, God.
It is said that after these performances, Chopin returned to his room and played his piano furiously.
I could just imagine him getting into a banging piano battle with Beethoven. You know, essentially, the likes of him, Mozart, and Beethoven were what you would consider a rock star back in the day.
Yeah. Even the pieces reflected that. Rhythm Thief, I will say more of this about later. He must have felt a frustrating anger towards himself, obviously. The game Rhythm Thief showed this, but basically, if you take a composition like, let's say, Bach or Beethoven, and you use the same notes, but for like saying electric guitar, it still works.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the magic of it.
Like,
Forced to suppress his true feelings, put on a mask and perform music to please people.
Did he literally put on a mask?
No, but oh god. In contrast to the cheerful style of this piece, Chopin's heart was most likely not nearly as high-spirited.
Huh, you don't say. You think he would have been overjoyed given the circumstances.
That's what he appeared to the masses. And keep in mind, this is the pieces that he chose to play for this particular occasion. Keep that in mind.
Wow, the inside of Baroque looks much more pleasing.
It's a traditional JRPG castle.
Oh god, it's one of those stupidly long halls you make just to make yourself so important.
Thankfully, there are NPCs roaming around, so it's not an empty castle.
That really is the only reason why it exists, isn't it?
I'll never forget that line from Avatar: The Last Airbender. You assault my guards, break into my kingdom, knock down my fancy doors.
Huh? Good at what?
You knocked down my pride in the process.
Weren't you watching? Didn't you see him playing? The way he played was just so amazing.
Okay, technically we did get to hear him playing, though it's a shame we couldn't actually see him playing in the actual hall.
Rendering is hard, Jova.
Yeah.
Are you saying Frederick was playing that music?
Who did you think was playing
I didn't pay
it?
any attention to who
She
was
was
playing
distracted.
music.
That's the sad part, Jova. Like I've said before. Oh.
Hi, Vanille.
Guys, we have to go see the captain. Hurry!
Okay, I think
I would say this sauce at least is not sexualized, and thank God for that.
Okay.
Yeah, this isn't very offensive.
Okay. I think I get what these models kind of remind me of. The Mama movements in Sonic 06, which was a game that was made around the birth.
Is she swatting a fly?
Okay,
I think so.
Actually, Pedro, it's a common gesture. I tend to do that as well for this kind of behavior.
Yeah, the way Salsa's moving, that reminds me of that scene where Sonic and Tails go to rescue Elise. Tails does that weird stumbling thing while also waving at Elise here. Okay,
Well, that thing has Sonic Forces as well.
Well,
but I digress.
Okay. Sonic
the point
Forces...
is that now we need to go see Prince Crescendo because Frederick is talking with him, so we might as well enjoy because Salsa believes there's something to eat.
Why couldn't they have rendered these NPCs in the cut? Oh my god, they're standing complete still.
They move a bit here and there, but...
This is sad. Sorry.
Go ahead, no, go ahead, Pedro.
This is the sad part, Jova. Like I've said before, the artists, even despite their tight budget, like I said in the previous part, like the art team of this game, the visual team, they're the ones that I think are the ones who are succeeding the best. Because this, even within their tight budget, they still created some. For example, the character design, like I've said, the character design in this game is fantastic. I would argue.
Even the environment,
oh, yes.
I'd argue, it's really great.
The environments, for the most part, are good. There's some that get a bit mundane, but hey, you know, like, well, there's always going to be a land like that in an RPG.
It's a true demonstration that, unlike what Square at this point in time was trying to shove down your throat. Great art direction is what makes the game look good, not a high quality graphics engine.
And you could do JRPGs with 1,000 NPCs.
Yeah, it's like, well, okay.
But we couldn't make the towns look as good as the rest of the game.
You know, I believe that, but only because Toriyama is incompetent.
You know,
it's not for the reason that the Square want me to believe.
You know, I'm even going to take things a step farther. For as minimalistic as Sonic Forces does feel, you know, with its levels being incredibly short or whatnot, the actual art design and whatnot is actually pretty good, as well as the sound design. Like, heck, someone actually looked back, you can even hear so much as Vector's chain around his neck jingling and whatnot. It's like, well, Sonic Forces definitely does feel like otherwise, the usual bout of effort you see and stuff. The main issue with that was, again, the gameplay was flawed here and there, and the levels were short. And even still, you can
And you can tell the game. Sorry, and you can tell the game was on a tight budget as well.
Yeah, it's like, well, honestly, if that game actually got to really shine for what it fully would have been, it would have succeeded. It's closer to succeeding than, sadly, a game like this, because, okay, I don't know if it was a running trend, but, okay, Sonic 06, I can give some kind of credit for, like, well, it was, like, one of the games made literally around the birth of the PS3, so I could see why the models still moved a bit awkwardly, especially the rendering and whatnot. But, again, this game was made, how far from that, Teal?
2007, 2008.
Okay.
I do agree.
Like, 2007 is one thing, but you think they maybe could have touched up a bit by 2008? I mean...
I do agree that... sorry, go ahead.
Okay. To cap things off, I get that, you know, it maybe wouldn't have looked perfect, but the more I realize is that, yeah, the way these models move, you know, in cutscenes reminds me way too much of Sonic 06's. Alright, go on, Pedro.
I don't know, I'll still argue that...
Cutscene about to happen, sorry.
okay. No, go ahead.
Because it's time to finally meet Crescendo as the prince. And hold on. And his love interest, Princess Serenade, voiced by Stephanie Chan.
Let me guess, they're husband and wife.
And that cute little dog is called Minuet.
So, are those two husband and wife?
What's going on?
They're a
Salsa?
couple.
We're just talking
They
about
don't refer
boring
openly
stuff.
as marriage. But
Let's
yeah.
see, one's a prince, one's a princess, and,
Guess what, Jova? Salsa is not understanding why there's nothing to eat here.
What?
The point is,
You having fun?
the only thing you need to know, Joe, is that they're banging each other.
Hold on, pay attention, because basically, yeah, Crescendo is explaining
Fuck
the
you.
war that's going on in this Stanley.
Fuck you and your false innocent face.
Wait a minute.
Never mind. Later.
Later.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, something's not right, though.
Hold on,
However,
Jova.
if Baroque were to preemptively challenge Forte, many innocent civilians
I've
would
heard
surely
this
get
voice
caught up in
actor
the
from
resulting
somewhere.
all-out war.
Yeah, we already said it's,
Cam Clark.
Oh,
yeah,
Cam Clark.
The suffering of
God,
innocence is one of the
please, Cam,
greatest
go back to
Okay,
being Simba.
no, okay, this
It's
way of
appalling.
thinking about the civilians first,
So, what are
is
you gonna do
indeed
now?
a good way of thinking, but, well, yeah,
Well,
like we
I
said,
thought that the
what are we
solution
going
to the problem would be to find a way to assassinate Count Waltz to avoid any other casualties.
Which is, in my
I-
opinion, the
Uh,
correct
aided
solution.
Andantino.
Yeah, I will actually agree with that, and this is why he aided the Andantino movement.
I am opposed to that plan. I believe assassination would be the equivalent.
If you
of a
already
declaration
know
of war
that you
against
can't
Forte.
stop somebody from committing more
And if we were to
atrocities,
do that,
you
would it
know,
not be the
then
Oh, no, no,
that
no,
is your
here's the
solution.
Oh,
reasoning.
God.
Who's responsible?
Oh my God, no!
Hold on, it's the whole, if you kill him, you'll be just like him.
Okay.
That's complete bullshit.
Okay.
We have to commit in Matsuno to slap these riders in the face.
Okay. Look.
Okay, this reasoning is the exact same purpose why the campaign of America in the Cold War of removing the leaders of the Middle East and planting those selected by them failed, and we're paying the consequences right
Looking
now.
back on
Yeah.
It's
history,
just not a
mankind
good way
does
of
indeed repeat
thinking.
the same
The reason
mistakes
America eventually won the
over
Cold
and
War was
over
because they
again.
realized that was a stupid idea and actually just played the
Someone else
long
with evil
game,
designs
which
will
Russia
surely
eventually
appear to
lost.
fill the void.
Here, wait. Also, so that's Serenade's issue,
If
but
it's really as
isn't
important as all that,
isn't Crescendo
how
the
can
one in
people
charge
just
though?
forget about it?
He's whipped.
You're kidding me. So
It's because
basically,
the
She's got
passage
him
of
under her
time
thumb,
allows us to forget
essentially.
tragic and painful events.
okay. And
We let
now
them
thinking
go so
back
that
to
we're
it,
able to continue on with our
Claves
lives.
sent that pigeon to Baroque.
Don't worry, Jova, we'll
letters
come back
written
to
in
that.
sand,
I'm wondering
blown
though,
away
what
by
if
the wind.
Serenade is also a secret hidden agent working for Forte? Like, I mean, that's the only reason
There are
she could be
some
this
things we must
stupid.
never
Like,
forget,
think about
no
it.
matter
I mean,
Oh
she
god,
says,
the close-up.
oh, assassination is bad, but secretly she's just helping Forte, knowing that Crescendo will do anything for her because.
I so love how this conversation is completely wasted with two 10-year-old children who don't
I have
understand
a
this
favor to
concept.
ask. I
Wait,
understand that
is
all
that
of
what
you
this
are
scene is
going
gonna
to
be?
the
Just
jazz?
Serenade and Crescendo going back and forth saying, we
There
should
is
do
a
this plan? Well,
message I
I
would
don't
like
like
you to
that.
pass
Well,
on to
you
him.
clearly have
Yeah,
this.
hold on, here we go.
Baroque can no longer
Basically,
provide you
they're
with any
chickening out on
assistance.
Andantino.
Well, fudge you! So let me get this straight. No assassination to stop Forte, and now you're dropping support of Andantino?
Don't worry, Joe. Chopin will almost immediately call Crescendo out on this.
Okay. I'm really starting to get the bigger feeling that Serenade is secretly a traitor. Because, again, conveniently, she doesn't want to do stuff that would help her kingdom, heck, help kingdoms all around, and would only take out Forte.
Yes, Pedro.
The sex better be damn good, you asshole.
By the way, Pedro, I have no idea what was the cutscene with the eye close-up was supposed to be.
So I'm calling him right now. Clave sent that pigeon to Serenade to let her know.
Hold on, again, we'll get back to it. For now, focus on this.
Oh, in this part? Okay, then. Oh, wait, that's right.
Well, not necessarily on this part, maybe a later one, like 1 or 2.
Fair enough.
Trigger for war. Is there any way you could meet with Jazz?
So basically, you want us to risk our lives just so we can sell Andantino. By the way, Baroque is kind of cutting you off.
No, a tyrant is leading the world into chaos.
Okay, Serenade is officially the worst character to me so far.
No longer provide support for its actions.
I know that it's selfish of me to ask this of you.
That's the fucking least.
Okay.
You're right.
Hand over the ghost.
Alon, here we
It
go.
is rather selfish of you.
Thank you.
Oh, he's not done yet.
Up until now, you have been providing Andantino with support. Is that correct? Denying them that support because your opinions have changed is rather irresponsible.
I'd say even childless-like.
But you must understand. We have come to realize that the actions we have taken up to this point have been mistaken.
Tough shit, you take responsibility for what you've done, what you've done.
Also, I'm sorry, but what exactly is all of a sudden mistaken? Like, you knew you were supporting them for
there
a
you
war.
go.
I am genuinely... Oh, sorry.
Have you stopped to consider what this will do to Andantino, who will be cut off without any warning?
Not pleasant.
Of course,
I am genuinely
it wasn't our
convinced
intention to
Serenade
provoke
is
Andantino
mentally
or
challenged.
force him
Again,
to
Because there's no way that could be coming out of a mouth of a normally functioning human being.
Honestly, no, Pedro. It's the opposite. It's complete malevolence.
It's like I said, I am convinced that's...
Okay, we'll compromise. Both.
It's like I said, guys. I'm convinced Serenade has to
Oh, here
be...
we go.
Using Andantino to push forward the interests of Baroque.
Well.
That's the thing. With Chopin's past life, he's incredibly genre-savvy about this kind of thing, and he's not gonna stand up for it.
Was Chopin? Eh, whatever.
Enough is enough,
That is
bitch.
not true. Prince Crescendo would never do anything like that.
That's
Well,
enough.
Shut up,
well.
bitch.
I'm sorry, who wears the pants in this relationship?
Jazz
I'm
and
not
I
even
have known
sure
each other
anymore.
since
The dog.
days of our youth. We may have different
Oh,
social
and also he
positions.
and Jazz were childhood
As long as
friends. Let me
we're
guess, a
someone I
whole,
can confide in,
the
I'll
rich
speak
and the
openly
poor
to
kind of tale.
Kinda, but we'll get a proper backstory later in
Wait.
another part.
Actually, that's a good point. Jazz lives...
Are you familiar with Mount Rock?
Oh,
It's a
let me
mountain
guess.
region
2
located on
villages
the
connected by a
border.
mountain.
I know all
Okay,
about it.
JRPG writers out there, for the future, unless you're Azumi Matsuno, keep your politics as simple as possible.
Jazz is
Okay,
Yeah.
originally from
I mean,
that
you know,
area.
and it's so weird. It's like, well, plenty of American devs actually do get politics in their games relatively fine enough. What's up with Japan?
Impressively strict.
I said for
No,
the most part.
Yeah, let's
Many
just
people have
move on
opposed
this
their
in the
cruel
fact that
treatment of the miners,
Jazz
well as
and
their utter
Crescendo knew each
disregard
other
for the
because
delicate
they were
ecology of
part
the
of the revolution, the first revolution,
Unlike me,
when the miners of
Jazz
Mount
was
Rock
always a
partaking.
passionate leader. Since we were young, he's always had a talent for
Yeah,
making
his
decisions
words.
and
Unlike me,
taking
Jazz was
action.
always a passionate leader. You are admitting that you are a terrible
So, to
ruler.
be
Well,
honest,
maybe he's
when I heard he
slightly
had taken part in a
envious
revolt
of
the
Jazz.
Forte miners, well,
Maybe
no,
he
I
truly
can't say it
loves
came as much
Jazz
of a
and
surprise
hates
at all.
Serenade.
Also,
what
trivia,
happened in the
you know,
revolt?
that symbol that you're seeing on Jazz's
Forte's
color, those
forces
3
showed the miners
green
no
lines,
mercy.
these
Much
are
blood
actually
was
the track
spilled.
Crescendo logo.
By the time
Aw.
Baroque intervened, it was over.
you know what this is, Jova?
After that,
Yes?
Jazz never
It's
returned.
Dharma and Greg.
He founded Andantino.
That's
basically what this is.
Really?
Basically, Dharma and Greg is an American TV show about.
I know about that. Why are you specifically compared to?
Because just like in this,
the
man is completely whipped, and the woman is just fucking retarded. Like this is Dharma and Greg medieval fantasy edition.
Believe me, even though I can no longer
Cue the
support
laugh track.
jazz directly, I haven't
So
forsaken
basically,
my
Christian
own
is like,
things
yeah, I
and
know it's a bad thing, but we're gonna have to
Sermons
live with
help.
it.
You know,
hoping to find a
Crescendo,
peaceful means
part
for
of this
both
feels
our
like it's a lot
countries to
easier
live
for you to say
happily.
And
just
trust me, folks, it gets worse.
You know,
Yes.
you know, Crescendo, not for
believe
nothing, but it feels like a lot of this stuff is easier for you to say only
trying to do
because
makes
jazz
sense.
isn't
Polka,
here.
Yes.
you just stay out
Now
of
that
this.
you've explained it, I can also understand.
No, Frederick, no! You were
You were
at...
so good just a second
Come back to
ago.
me. Come back to me, Frederick. No.
I guess the tuberculosis is really doing a bang on it.
Yeah.
If we can get back to retarded
Oh yeah,
somehow,
this
I'm sure we
particular
can jazz
cutscene
and
writing
everything
seems like it came out of someone's rectum. I will admit that.
I
Let's
mean,
return to
this
Regiment.
is bad, like, really
So basically,
bad.
the course of action is for them to return to Redondo and then find a way to contact back the other group and say, hey, we're fine.
You know, part of the issue I have with this here is like, well, it's one thing when a scene does something that is clearly wrong, and the
Okay,
characters...
this bears a bit of explanation because we're about to get another cutscene. In the Xbox 360 version, you just get out of the city now and go back to the normal plot. However, since the writers noticed that the Crescendo's characterization here is god-awful, they try to ease up a bit by adding a complete new dungeon and set of cutscene just for this occasion.
And let me guess, that makes some playable characters.
We'll get to that, Jova. For now, let's just get to
Mirror? Let me guess, it's a magical
One
mirror.
thing that I will say is that the quote unquote there's not much difference in the recording of the lines between the old content and the new one. It generally feels as if there's a good quality overall on the same level.
And now Crescendo for the looking glass.
We're actually getting that.
What the heck? What's with the gigantic mirror?
It's not really gigantic. I
It's
mean,
overcompensating.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen bigger mirrors. It's not. I mean, it's big, yeah, but it's not like gigantic.
It's perspective. Hold on, Shirei, look at that. The dog seems to be interested in the mirror.
They always are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
Because they see
What
rivals.
have we here? What exactly were you planning on doing with this huge mirror?
You're a girl, you should know this.
Well, you see,
This mirror was one of my grandfather's most precious possessions. It's called.
Huh.
I requested that it be
Lament.
moved up to my chamber.
I lament this
I
writing.
told my grandfather would
It's
often
another
stand before
musical
this mirror to
thing.
think.
It's because the word lament, of course, actually means something
Yeah,
more
yeah.
different in the European
I
languages.
wish I was playing
In his day,
Castlevania Lament of
Baroque was
Innocence,
surrounded by
actually.
much stronger traditions. The responsibility
Apparently his
of
grandfather
protecting
was
the
using
road
this
must have
mirror a
been an
lot in the past.
overwhelming burden.
Crescendo.
In a situation very similar to this.
Hey, Crescendo, do you have any clue shops in your kingdom? Because you could really get one for yourself, please.
The dog seems to be really interested in the mirror.
I wonder why.
Wait for it.
Also, bit of a sound effects fail with the dog barking. He was clearly barking even though...
Don't please. Oh, shit. And the dog is dead.
So the mirror starts falling. Okay, so the guards are complete klutz. Is like seriously.
The guards just decided to murder this dog.
Well, let's see the corpse as well.
Oh, it's an
Oh,
incredibly
there's
clean and
nothing
invisible
inside.
looking corpse.
Hmm.
Also, the frame rate, Jesus.
She was.
Oh yes, Minuet is a female.
She disappeared.
What could have happened?
Come on, this is a fantasy universe. You shouldn't be all that surprised by
No,
that.
wait, hold on. The blinding flash of
can't be.
light.
Prince Crescendo, do you know something that could explain this?
Well, obviously, because there was clearly
could
a
it be
blinding
possible?
flash of light when it happened. I'm gonna guess it had to do with the lights, or maybe I don't know, the clearly reflective mirror.
Now we're Windows Media Player effect.
Actually, that looked like a PS1 random battle transition.
Kinda, maybe a homage to that. And
That's
now we're inside the mirror.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you over wherever that water is coming from.
That homage doesn't work though, because it was in a very misleading context.
Yeah.
Why did we walk towards the water?
This dungeon is fine on its own. It presents an interesting set of rooms and challenges, and it's not even that long. And it has these other cutscenes right in the middle that try to justify a bit Crescendo's ideals. I'd say poorly, because at the end of the day, I really don't like still Crescendo's way of thinking.
I mean,
Neither do I.
Part of the issue with Crescendo is like, well, okay, there are two big problems. If they would remove one of those two big problems, his character would be a lot better. Problem number one, Crescendo talks a big game, but seems to do little unless it's okay with Serenade. And two, Crescendo lives and breathes by what Serenade does. Like, okay, if you remove the problem of him just simply doing whatever Serenade does, then we'd have a guy who's, yeah, at odds with Serenade, but still does stuff. Or say we have problem number one removed. Like, okay, say he didn't act so passionate about this stuff, but he was actually truly scared. That would also be a good reason to add to why he lets Serenade boss him around.
Trust me, Jova, again, it gets even worse than that.
I think that's part of the issue. It's like, well, they wouldn't even have to do much to make his character better. Like, just remove his passionate bits. Like, have it be that he actually is truly afraid for his kingdom or whatnot. But no, I mean, honestly, the only reason he backs down is because of Serenade. And those two big issues of his character combined with that, thus kind of ruined it for him. Because Serenade herself doesn't even feel like a character so much as she is just a plot wall. Like, I mean...
Anyway,
sorry,
let's see the room and... Oh, Crescendo is here.
How lovely. Let me guess, that's his grandfather from the past.
Yeah, for context, I'll be voicing the blue portrait, Jova will be voicing the red portrait, and Peter eventually will voice the green portrait.
Who will be voicing Crescendo himself?
Me.
My condolences.
Whatever, I like Cam Clark anyway.
Oh yes,
I'll take a look at this cliché.
yes. Oh yes. I love Cam Clark. Like, trust me, there are so many characters whose voices I love. It's just the characters themselves. Yeah. But you know what? To be fair, I voiced.
Now he makes ready to invade my land. Forte has grown in strength at an astounding speed. Power he's acquired has put him on equal footing with Baroque.
Yeah, how nice.
If it should come to war between us, be a clash that will threaten the very existence of both our nations.
What are you, a Civilization 1 king?
Please be Gandhi and nuclearize the shit out of everything.
Anyway, going back to what I
Your
said,
civilization makes us laugh. We will agree not to crush your penis civilization for this price.
Anyway,
hold on, Jova. You'll be able to tell over the after cutscene because there's a bit of gameplay. Can't be sure, but...
And where are we?
Let me guess. It's a portal into his mind.
You see, Polka, this is...
We've somehow been pulled inside a mirror, even though it sounds completely bullshit.
What? No, Polka. This is how JRPGs go. They have a big boner for really weird, visually extravagant places.
There's a legend about the Royal Mirror.
Oh!
But it has the ability to hide those who stand before it.
It's so nice to know that now.
Can hide people?
Yes, it's a fucking TARDIS. Yes, it's bigger on the inside. However, until now I thought that it was nothing more than an old wives' tale. You never tested it. But considering what's happened, it will appear that the legend is true.
Nah, you think?
I wonder if the story of Crescendo and Serenade is like Beauty and the Beast, except both of them are ugly on the inside.
The legend also says that those who pull behind the mirror's glass are trapped there forever. Excuse me, I don't want to scare you. That was just part of the legend.
The legend that has turned out to be true so far, you moron!
Serenade and the others must be here somewhere.
So basically, Pedro, what you're saying is like,
keep moving. I'm sure we'll find some kind of an exit eventually.
So basically,
just don't think about it.
So basically,
anyway,
Pedro,
this also means that the Crescendo for this section is gonna be playable. A thing that wasn't present in the Xbox 360 version.
Yeah.
Crescendo and Serenade were basically one of the big selling points. They are
Doggy.
playable in a state they were in. Crescendo specifically fights with a combination of a mace and a shield.
Well, I mean, surely them being playable will give more opportunities for them to join the party and thus get more character, I would hope.
Oh, she's not here.
Oh.
No shit, Sherlock.
Later, for later, Jova. But I'm sure we saw it. This is kind of like an appetizer of their combat abilities, and I'll showcase them here, both for Crescendo and Serenade.
The only way this plot makes any sense to me is if Serenade is the greatest blowjob giver in the entire world, and Crescendo does not want to give that up by any by any sacrifices necessary. It's the only way this plot makes any sense to me.
Crescendo is kind of a tank in a sense that he's very slow, but there's a lot of attack power, HP, and defense. It's similar to Jazz, but slower and doesn't do much hits with his combos. But it's perfect for as a sponge for absorbing damage and luring the enemy, basically.
To continue.
Continue, both Jova and Pedro.
I will agree with you, Jova, that that the art design of Sonic Forces is fine for the most part.
I mean,
however,
it wasn't so much the art design I was talking about. I was talking, well, okay, that was part of what I was talking about, but I was mainly talking about, the lengths they go to actually getting it animated sublimely.
The attention to details.
Yes, more so that. It's like, I mean, the art design for Sonic is like, well, it's your typical modern Sonic art style. Like, that's fine enough. What I was mainly talking about is like, well, how that game does animations better. And to be fair, to be fair, that was a game made later than this, but still though, I was comparing this to say something like Sonic 06 in terms of how during cutscenes the models moved a bit stiffly. Hey, oh my god, another thing another thing I noticed is like, remember how in Sonic 06 there's that bit where Amy gives those Bishi sparkles when asking Elise who her crush is? It's just like when Salsa did that Hearts thing. It looked way too cartoony and out of place given how the game was animated up to that point.
Yeah.
Anyway, for the second room, we find back Serenade. Pedro will be voicing her. Crescendo, Serenade, are you right? Sorry, Pedro, it's prosperity. No. Actually, that's a portrait. Basically, the question mark is the portrait. Cannot last forever.
You simply refuse to understand.
Sure.
This sucks. What else is on?
Much more money and more land to truly satisfy the people.
That's the one that's on Disney XD. This is boring. Like, no? Okay, alright. Prince Crescendo. This portrait.
She goes on in high heels, by the way.
Oh,
because I'm a lady and ladies only walk in high heels, don't you know?
I think so as well. Well, yes, tell that to Bayonet.
Yes, there you go. See, now you know.
Well, Bandit is practical. She makes sure to have the platforms balanced out with guns.
No, Polka. Nobody knows.
Long ago,
in a distant
days
land,
when my grandfather ruled in this nation, a war broke out between Baroque and Forte. Not really good with diplomacy. In those days, Forte saw the expansion of its borders as the only means of strengthening itself as a nation. I think this portrait portrays the tension that came to a head between countries.
Did it now?
I also believe that these men were the leaders of Baroque and Forte at the time. Pedro?
However, if this is the case, I don't know if the previous king of Baroque and the former Lord of Forte doing inside this mirror.
It's a remnant is something.
After all, if the legend regarding the royal mirror is true, would that not mean that the two of them would have somehow been pulled inside the mirror and trapped? But that cannot be what happened. Well, do you have a better idea, bitch? I have never heard anything from a previous king disappearing into a mirror. Yeah, because that sounds just like such a thing that could not happen in this fantasy world.
You know,
to be fair, it's not something that will go unnoticed. If we attack them ahead right now, neither side will emerge unscathed. The royal family is sworn to the protection of his land. No one with the training of a knight will allow such a reckless move.
I don't know.
How will all of this end? Know that in cases our pride will be stained red, then melted to a river of blood that will traverse this old nation. No dawn will greet that bloody jewel. It shall tumble ever downward into hell's gaping maw.
I don't know, King. Lynx couldn't stop Calamity Ganon in the 100 years prior, so and he was trained as a knight. So
you simply refuse to understand. It
Oh,
will
of
take
course.
much more money and
silly
more
me.
land to truly satisfy the people. When
I'll explain a bit more
prosperity
what
is
it
ours, none shall know what to do till lack of food or rest, nor will anyone have cause to fear a morning of darkness. The people need only prepare themselves for the bright future that awaits them. And
Spoken
I
like a
will
true
build the
politician.
golden road that leads us there.
With a mountain of corpses, basically.
Well, that was a very nice history lesson.
So that's generally what war creates.
Yeah.
So Baroque
War
wanted to be all.
is hell.
So
Perhaps
basically,
what we're seeing is a depiction of their thoughts. The objective of the two leaders at the time imprisoned inside them.
History tells us that this struggle ended in victory for Baroque, bringing a temporary end to the ambitions of Forte.
of course.
Because Baroque actually did something.
Yeah.
Perhaps there's more we can see. I mean,
There's
it's not like you have much
more
more.
within
Let's
me.
keep moving.
Let me guess. This dungeon is
No.
Let
No,
me
you're
guess.
not allowed to use that motto.
Let me guess.
Just shut up.
This dungeon is going to try and give Crescendo some character development in realizing what needs to be
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, the
Meanwhile-
problem is, as soon as this dungeon ends, Crescendo is still convinced on his idea. Basically. This dungeon is trying to make his decision more sympathetic.
It's kind of
sense-
similar
In a
to.
sense that portraying that he has no real choice in the matter. He can only screw up no matter what he decides to do.
Here's
But the
kinda sim-
problem is that I still think there could have been a choice that he could make it better anyway. But go ahead, Pedro.
It kind of seems. It's kind of like the Advent Dark Forces extra content that was supposed to fix things, but they didn't fix anything. They just added more. The same thing with this. Like they didn't really change. At least from what I can tell, they didn't really change how Crescendo is characterized. They just added this thing in between.
Next up is Beat.
Oh, Polka!
Beat. Oh, I'm so glad you're all right.
Yeah, I was carried away by this really big wind, and when I came to, I was here. And there are no doors in this room, so I was getting kind of worried.
Remember, it's
Man,
okay,
am I
Pete,
glad
next-
you all showed up.
It's okay, Beat. Next time, just grab onto a horse. That always works, apparently.
But there wasn't any horses in sight.
Well, that's not what we're
We'll
talking
improvise.
Oh yeah.
about.
Oh yeah. By the way, Shuri, Pedro showed Tio all season
Yeah,
one
I
of
already
that show.
told
No, I'm
Yeah.
here. Don't worry.
Well, we're gonna
we
go
can talk
find-
about this later. Yeah, let's.
I bet
Jova?
Salsa's so worried by now. But how are we gonna get out of this room? Well, Pete, we have to learn something. No, literally, that's how we move on.
Everyone,
we learn
you gotta
something.
Take a look at this. Alright. Tide of oncoming war, unstoppable is the flow of a great fusion river. Can nothing be done?
Well, several things could be done, but if you play a game of chicken, it won't be done. Are the lives of others truly so precious to you? Are you really so self-important? To make
Well,
a
actually-
request like that, with no thought of shame,
How dare you have empathy for others?
it's
Yeah.
nothing less than an entreaty from the king of a proud nation of tradition. Well then, I have an idea. If you cannot stop your heart from trembling in the winds of cowardice, then hand over lament to me.
Oh.
How about
Bring
no?
me that royal treasure, unparalleled in excellence, the very symbol of beauty. If you do, I will lay down my arms.
It also has to do with the fact that this dungeon feels very its insertion in the PS3 version feels very contrived.
Whoa, it opened!
Like they couldn't really come up with a good reason for inserting this. It's just there's this mirror thing.
I think it's serviceable enough in that kind of way. I've seen worse
Ah!
and yes, your camera is reversed for this, and so are your controls, by the way.
I hate this.
Question:
so
How do they know that they're upside down? Because from their perspective, everything is right side up. It's only to us, the players, that everything looks upside down.
That's exactly the thing. They did not notice the fact that they're upside down.
But they later did. They even stated in the text. One of the characters says, "We're upside down," and I'm like, "How can you notice?" Because essentially everything.
Because the blood is rushing to their head.
Actually, also you can see down there that there is a parallel to their,
Is this the only way?
to what they're standing up. Anyway, time to show Serenade. She fights with a two-hand heart-shaped staff.
Wow.
Well, that's typical of a character like this in a JRPG.
Basically, her abilities are either projectiles, which are really good, or healing abilities. Basically, all her special attacks are really good. She can become a really good character for the late game.
You see, Shiroi, JRPGs tend to stereotype female characters as the healers. See, it's this interesting thing how it's always the girls who are the white mages for some reason.
And now it's time for some more comedy with salsa.
Oh, great.
I feel so weak. I didn't get any food.
Actually, see, that's what she's about to get. Well, of course you do. Who wouldn't, after crying out, "I'm hungry," over and over as many times as you have?
I'm a growing girl, and why can't you magic up a steak for me? You should be able to make one up in a flash with those magic powers of yours.
That's a very fancy Rev joke, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but magic is not a tool of convenience.
No,
You hear that, MLP?
And if it could be used for such things, our first thoughts should be of all the children going hungry in the town.
True.
No, Komizu will be so proud of you.
Getting upset will won't solve anything. We have to keep calm, decide what we're going to do. Any space palming.
I am gonna starve!
Yeah, face
He's so done with their shit.
I'm sorry.
While we're trying to quote-unquote fix things, why not remove her from the game altogether?
Okay.
Hold on, Jova, go ahead.
We're safe.
Phew. Yes, saved in more ways than one, I should say.
Huh?
Never mind. It's nothing.
He was gonna kill her.
Anyway,
I'm pretty sure
next
he was gonna snap and kill her.
Can I blame him?
No.
I'm very interested in the person, the people in this. They seem to be wrestling with some difficult decisions.
No, duh. Isn't that what they've been doing the past two paintings? Wait, who's this green?
Oh, that's me.
Yeah,
Give them our royal treasure? How dare he speak so to the sovereign of this mighty nation, and making such exorbitant demands?
Who's the minister with? Oh wait, he's probably Baroque.
King, hear me, O wise king. This is a blatant affront to our proud nation. To relinquish the mirror would be to tarnish the good name of the valiant knights of Baroque.
Who?
I don't know. Now is the time to be led astray by the talk of fools. Be guided instead of the light. Blah blah blah. I'm indignated by this. That's all you need to know. They await your orders, my liege.
Yeah, the minister is exhorting King of Baroque to actually, battle Orton instead.
At your command. The young and old, the women too, the children. Why not? Sure. Let's just throw everybody in there.
So the nation moves ever closer towards pride, name we give to that precious treasure which those who came before us cultivated with such care.
Oh, stop with your pretentiousness.
A treasure that perhaps lies within the heart of every man. Or do we choose the treasure of life, which burns within the breast of every man?
Stop trying to sound smart.
Treasure
You're
like
not.
no other. Kingdom Hearts is light.
Yeah, basically.
Kingdom Hearts may get convoluted, but at least they stick to the simple light darkness stuff.
That's I'm convinced, Joe, that they do that only because they cannot mention stuff like death, proper death or soul. They mention souls, but not in the proper term of a way, especially considering how death is such a relative concept.
But you see, Teo, it's the Yu-Gi-Oh thing. Like he wasn't. Aqua didn't die. She just got sent to the realm of darkness.
And
well, to be fair, yeah, she's back.
I know that, Java. It's just that again, it's the Yu-Gi-Oh phase. He didn't die. He just got sent to the Shadow Realm.
To be fair, some people actually can die in the Kingdom Hearts universe, except until 3D.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to what I was saying earlier, it's like, well, that minister is clearly a double agent because it was a common bout of war tactic to basically try and get the other side to go to war with you, if only because the other side wanted to go to war. Like, hey, screw them actually giving us what we want them to not accept our terms. A war for us means all the more money and land.
I mean, I understand a line of thinking about pacifism, but there's a point where this line of thinking is more deterrent than everything. It does more damage than good.
Even
it's not an easy way of thinking, I'll admit that, because first of all, not every man is perfect anyway, and failing this is very easy. But at the same time, that's why also counselors and other people like that are for. You know, at some point, you need to realize that your line of thinking is not working. You do something different, even if it means doing what you think is the wrong thing.
Not only that, but there's about where, okay, the whole pacifism thing, like, okay, I get characters like that, but there's one thing that annoys me. It's characters who won't even help their friends because they're ultra super pacifists. Like, for example...
Exactly what Crescendo is doing.
For example, part of Cream's story arc in Sonic Battle was her overcoming her ultra pacifism and realizing, hey, I should actually try fighting for people when necessary. Like, just because I don't want to fight doesn't mean I can't help people in need. Now, and you know, heck, even Undertale has a bit of an interesting point to this. While yes, that story is a bit over-glorifying in its own nature and whatnot.
I'd say drama with the preachiness does not come in the pacifist route, more like in the genocide one. But
exactly. And also the fact that with the pacifist route, you can actually still technically fight. It's just that you're considered a pacifist so long as you don't kill.
It has been said that...
Well, that is exactly what pacifists
Mirror, I put it to you because
some
I'm too
people think a pacifist is never fighting at all, but I digress.
Should I leave the royal house
it doesn't work like that.
Leave my royal house and march towards my enemy's lands.
I wish Baroque fought in, like, pacifism in the proper means then.
To a future where the royal family honor is defiled. Or instead, should I rally the people beneath my banner and spill the blood of thousands bitter conflict?
Basically, should I do something, or should I do nothing and just let my kingdom get slowly killed off?
Pain and hatred. Tell me, Mirror, now, and this means boss fight.
Somehow.
So what, did the mirror then suck him in, or did the mirror suck his spots up?
Basically, we're about to fight the spirit of the mirror.
Which is the grandfather, or is the mirror just haunted?
No, it's a random demon.
Oh. Okay, then.
It's even a weird one because it's shaped like, you know, a Japanese Waiji with a set of tambourines behind it.
So essentially this mirror just, I don't know, gobbled up these old guys' spots or something?
Yeah, exactly.
But it didn't take them for some reason. Yet here it took the dog inside of it. I mean, it would have made more sense if I thought these actually were the spirits of the old guys, but then again, like I said, that would have gone noticed, so... I mean...
Yeah, no, he detected. Sorry.
Maybe it's one of those mirrors that assimilates all the bad thoughts and becomes warped by it.
There we go. Gone.
Is this really the only way?
This is by the way, this is the only boss that you don't fight twice, so...
Holy cow, even in battle, Serenade's all...
The popper is safe. I don't even know what kind of species is. Chihuahua, maybe?
You know, I love how Serenade said, "What's this really the only way?" So let me get this straight. You aren't willing to go fight because that would kill people.
Oh no, the dog exploded.
And we're back here. Oh, that happened.
Well, that was a big-lipped alligator moment.
And where the guards went?
Hey, we did it! We made it back to our world again!
Yeah, sorry, developers, didn't work. Still hit Crescendo.
There, I was actually getting pretty nervous.
Please, I can't believe that's all it takes to shake you up. You really need to toughen up, small fry.
Well, fuck you too, then.
Yeah,
what did you say?
Blame was unnecessary.
What about you? You were practically bawling back there.
This goes on for some time.
Never cry.
Get a room, you two.
The only time I ever
They're kids, Jova.
That's usually what happens. They The kids who argued as kids will eventually become lovers when they're adults.
War between Baroque and
yes, Swan Princess
Anyway,
taught as
Polka
well.
is summing up the
Maybe
situation.
Your grandfather, the king, was wrong about leaving such an important decision up to a mirror.
We should have,
Wait.
you know, had some balls.
So basically, they left their decisions out to a mirror.
Not only our outward appearance,
And the mirror told him to go.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. What's the stupidest decision of all?
Keep listening to me. If you can actually hear me, you're that stupid.
I believe the choice was his own.
The stupidest advice I could give is
So,
listen to your girlfriend or fiance or whatever.
So, Crescendo, your grandfather kind of just stagnated everything by looking into a mirror. How the heck did he win a war?
It's much simpler than that, Shiroi. The woman he's banging. That's basically all we know.
Alright, those two are fighting.
He's distracted by boobs, is what is going on.
I think it's a good time to
I think my theory is more plausible, Shiroi.
I think it's a good time to say what this conflict represented and what is represented now. The nation of Baroque represents the Austrian Empire, while the nation of Forte in this context represents the Russian Empire. Basically, if you know a bit about history, Russia was very behind with technology for a long time. But then all of a sudden in the 19th century they started backing up really quickly, up until we became a very fearsome power at the end of the century. The Austrian Empire was really afraid of this, so that's why they always wanted to avoid conflict with them. And this is kind of a reflection of that.
Except I think the Austrian Empire... Well, then again, maybe they weren't that smart back then, but...
Not only that, the Russian Empire wasn't yet led by a psychopath.
Yeah.
Right.
So, what did we learn today from this dungeon, kids?
You should not
war is bad.
Anyway, this is an extra mini new piece.
Little dog Waltz. Oh, yeah. So that's what minuet's for.
Composed always by Chopin, but this also was added in the PS3 version. In this piece, more popularly known as the Minute Waltz, Chopin is said to have depicted Georges Sand's poodle puppy as it turned playful in circles chasing after his own tail. It was composed towards the ends of 1846, 3 years prior to his death. By that time, the romance between Chopin and Georges Sand had cooled off considerably. The following year, 1847, Chopin's relationship with Sand, which had lasted just over 9 years, came to an end. For Chopin, the loss of Sand also meant comfort for Nohan.
Well, cried. So, dying single.
Chopin created many of his masterpieces in Nohan. It was a place that revived the memory. However, by the consequences, separation was inevitable. The relationship had reached a point where it was beyond repair. Starting with Georges Sand, Chopin also lost a place where he had worked for his composition. Also, both at once must have been a great emotional strain on Chopin.
Well, cried. And that must have been all the much great for his condition.
It's said that Sand suggested to Chopin that he compose a waltz about the silly little dog. This can't be proven for certain, but it remains an amusing story connected to the piece. However, judging from the time Chopin spent in Nohant and the nature of his relationship with Sand during this place, one can imagine that perhaps Chopin spent more time alone with Sand and her family. In that sense, this piece offers a glimpse of Chopin's solitude during his final days in Nohant. And perhaps the story of his creation is more than mere after.
So, what are we gonna do now?
And this is where the Xbox 360 version reprised.
It looks like we'll have to cross over that mountain. It'll be pretty difficult
with all the snow, but yeah, let me guess. Crescendo's big character moment is when he finally, and I mean finally, actually does something, isn't it?
No way do
You'll see for yourself later, Joe, but like I said, it gets worse.
Yeah.
You're always complaining, kid.
You see, Shiroi, the reason I don't buy the being destroyed by boobs thing is that yes, boobs are nice, but my theory about her being the the greatest blowjob giver ever, that's a much more plausible for why he would be so whipped like this.
Why is that? I mean...
Especially because Serenade is not really well equipped, if you ask me.
Yeah, true. I was about to say that too. It's like she's...
Anyway, see you for the next part, everyone.
She's no Pyra, that's for sure.
See ya.
Shira, it's the only way I can make sense of this. It's the only way. See
you for plenty of other mysteries, folks.
See ya.
See ya.